Cool.
Joseph.
Liam.
David.
How's it going?
It's going good. Can't complain.
Yeah,
Can't complain.
that's what we like to hear.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, David, I heard you watched a movie recently.
Yeah, I saw this one. It's Pain and Gain.
Pain and
Really?
Gain.
Yeah, Pain and Gain. Yeah.
I heard about that one. That was in 2013, right?
Yeah, I think it was around.
It
Well,
was,
I didn't watch it then, but yeah. I think that's probably when it came out.
I mean that's officially an older movie now, right? I mean, 10 years.
10 years. Yeah, 10 years. So it's like,
That's
I'm
so
trying to
crazy.
think. 2013, what was I doing? College. I think at that point I was like halfway through my college career, and
Okay.
that's saying something because I was in college for about 7 years. So
Okay.
Gotcha.
so it was there a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's
Oh,
good,
yeah.
good time.
Yeah.
Good time.
I was a straight youngin. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think we
I
were
was
in middle
going into
school.
high school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I graduated middle school 2013. Represent.
So yeah, at that time, well, you were hanging out with The Rock and Marky Mark,
Marky Mark, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and Anthony Mackie.
Anthony
too.
Mackie.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, for sure.
The whole crew, the whole boys.
Gang.
Yeah, and I'll say I like The Rock,
Yeah.
and honestly, I like him more in a villain role than I do as
Yeah.
we're talking Pain and Gain, but if I don't know if you guys bother to see Black Adam or not.
So
I did see Black Adam. Yeah.
Was it good? Do you guys?
No,
No.
but what if it was me?
Yeah.
and we're gonna do hypothetical. Hey, hypothetical.
If you were The Rock.
no, if I was directing.
Okay.
Or if I was writing, I would have done it more like Black Adam be Frankenstein's monster, as opposed to what they were doing in that film.
Okay. I can kind of see what you mean.
Yeah, not exactly make him too much of the hero. Hey,
Yeah.
we've unleashed something, but what have we exactly unleashed?
So you want him to be a little bit darker?
Yeah,
You think?
And I mean, not darker, but just recognize maybe the repercussions of what we had to do to get this far.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I guess this movie kind of came out just before The Rock's ego kind of started to hit, and
He has a contract, right? Where he can't lose.
He can't lose a
can't,
fight.
a certain. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something in the Fast movies that
Yeah.
when he's doing those, he got brought up. He can't lose or something.
they
like
can't.
That.
He can't. Someone else can't punch him more times than he punches them, or something
Where he
like
just can't
that.
look like a bitch or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very strange. Which I do think it. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, and so in rewatching it, I was like, this is actually a really good Rock role. This was
Yeah.
Did
a
well.
great. He really act the shit.
I mean, he's plays second fiddle to Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time too, I think he totally outshines Wahlberg's
He
character.
definitely does. Yeah.
He plays a more complex character. I feel like.
Yeah. He was really the standout of the movie, which he was like what Dave Bautista is now. I think back then, where he was actually acting and he was playing complex characters and
Okay.
but now he's just big man punch knock
Do
out.
cool things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. He's become the Michael Bay of acting, where it's just
That's a good,
explosions and action rules.
That's a really good
And that's, but
Metaphor.
it's a Michael Bay movie.
That's
and,
it, yeah.
And I remember when 2013 when I first saw saw this movie and heard about it, when they said this is a Michael Bay movie, I'm like, where's all the Bay explosions at?
It's got all the other stuff. It's got the lens flares. It's got the sweatiness. It's got Mark Wahlberg. It's it's in Miami.
Yeah.
He loves his Miami. Yeah, I mean, so you said you saw it when it first came out. Do you have your thoughts evolved on the movie?
I think so. I think it's more just because what I saw when I saw it then. It was more oh, this is just a cool movie with The Rock,
Right.
Action, well, not even action movie, just a crime movie with The Rock.
Yeah.
And now it's I look at it more as the guy who they extorted. What's his name? Tony
Shalhoub.
Tony
Yeah.
Shalhoub's character. It's more I see that now as almost like a warning. It's shitty policing because the dude. They kidnap this dude. They extort this guy for all his money.
Yeah.
And they try to kill him.
Yeah.
They fail at it, and he's got a crushed face, broken arm, broken legs.
Screwed up.
Dude's like, if you saw him on the street, you'd be like,
He's done.
you're
Yeah.
like I don't have any change to give you, man. Like, you need to go
Yeah.
bother someone else. And he goes to the cops, and they're just like, we'll look into it. And even when they talk about it, it's like, well, he is Cuban, so like,
Yeah.
let's keep that in mind. It's like, no, that's a little fucked up, man. It's a little fucked up.
Well, that was a big point of contention when this movie came out. Was his family? They were suing Michael Bay because they didn't like how their dad was represented, and they didn't like how it sort of felt like they were glorifying the guys who tried to murder their dad and like stole all his money, and they were kind of playing it for gags, like, oh, they crashed his car and then they ran over him and then they set it on fire.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can see that now as like a minority in the world too, where it's like some of the things I say because of who I am get written off, or because of like how I act get written off.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely did like make that connection when Ed Harris's character is going to the cops after the Tony Shalhoub's character has to get a private eye to look into everything that's happening,
Yeah.
and he's like, you guys just didn't listen to him.
Yeah.
Like, everything was there. It was the easiest case you could have solved.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no, we're gonna stick with the people with the the good looking guys.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's definitely a fucked up world. And, you got guys like Mark Wahlberg. Danny Lugo was his name.
Yeah, Danny Lugo. Yeah.
What'd you guys think of him?
Oh, well, would you guys say there was any pretty privilege in this? Like, was there any pretty privilege that anybody had in this in any way, any of the actors? Or
What do you mean, like?
Well,
pretty
I know you just said, like, you get kind of like with everybody, they get all the good looking actors in there.
You get the like this. It's more like sex. Like Michael Bay movies are always ramped up on 10, so you have just the most jacked dudes playing like regular guys.
On steroids, ready to fucking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, the only one who was maybe like, I think Wahlberg gets the pretty privilege and The Rock do, but you see the way The Rock is ripped in that movie.
Yeah.
It's deserved.
Yeah.
Wahlberg, 50-50. Mackie gets it, but even then his character is like, they're poking fun at him. Like, it's like, dude, you can't get swollen off. You have to take steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
he's like taking steroids. He's impotent.
Yeah.
I think they say he was fat and then he lost a ton of weight and got super jacked. So
Mm-hmm.
that was like his.
Damn.
Yeah. And then you kind of have like the Rebel Wilson's like character too, where it's like, of course, the guy who's like was fat is into the fat women. Like,
Yeah, they're like, I think Mark Wahlberg even says at some point, like, oh yeah, like you're into the big chicks or something like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So there's a bit of pretty privilege. I mean, like you're saying, Bay kind of has certain things, the tent poles for his movie.
Yeah.
You look at like Megan Fox and those Transformers movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Megan Fox, she got booted from the first or second Transformers movie, right? Like, how many was she in?
She was in the first two,
Yeah.
but I don't think she got booted. I think she left on her own accord.
Did she?
Yeah.
If I believe. But we're not talking about Transformers.
We're
talking about
sidetracked.
paying
Megan
again.
Fox taking it away from us.
So, okay, so the story is these three guys who work at this gym. They're jealous of it. It is like a weird thing. It's like he plays it like, oh, I'm going for the American dream, but he also plays it like he's very jealous of it.
It's a very twisted version of the American dream.
Yeah.
Is a good way to put it. Where it's like, it landed the free, home of the brave. Take what you can. Even it doesn't matter who gets hurt along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny's definitely, he thinks he's justified in what he's doing because he deserves all this money.
It's that like almost like might makes right. Like because I'm stronger in both a like physical sense as his character.
Yeah.
And just like a mental.
It
He doesn't
was
have
that
a
mindset.
that mindset of like because I am stronger physically and in my mind.
Yeah.
I deserve everything that. What was Tony Shalhoub's character's name?
I don't remember.
But whatever
Yeah.
Tony Shalhoub's character deserves, and he's unworthy of it. So not only do I deserve it, I'm going to take it from him. Then.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's a real twisted mindset of the American dream.
Yeah. So I did do a bit of research into this movie, as I do sometimes.
Occasionally.
And so it's a weird thing, like they'll sometimes stop the movie and say, this is actually a true story.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it. There's a scene where The Rock like robs an armored truck and steals a ton of money. and he jumps into the river, and they shoot his toes off, and it flashes, and it says, "This is all actually a real story." That entire scene didn't happen.
Wait, then why? Then why?
Like, why? Because Michael Bay wanted a scene of The Rock's toe getting shot off.
Plot twist: Michael Bay is a foot thing.
A toe thing, apparently.
Yeah, him and Tarantino. But
Yeah.
jeez. No, that's funny. Yeah.
Someone needs to look into that. You know, we
Yeah.
need to go through all his movies. See what's going
I
on.
mean, there's always there's people like us
Yeah.
See how many
who's
toes
just
are
like,
in
no, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen. Michael Bay, what are you doing?
Damn it.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, the story is fairly close to what actually happened.
Okay.
The Rock's character wasn't he was an amalgamate. The gang was a lot bigger, but they just combined a few of the characters and made it The Rock.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I gotcha. I mean, The Rock is essentially like 3 different people. Combined
Yeah, I
into
mean,
one.
he was a criminal, but then he found Jesus, and now he's over it.
Yeah.
But now he's like torn, and he wants to be nice to Tony Shalhoub, but he also wants his money, and then he gets addicted to coke again.
It's like reverse
All of
Stockholm syndrome, where
Yeah.
like the captive falls in love, the
Yeah.
captor falls in love with the captive.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, but I mean,
But yeah, no,
Right.
this was a great rock. He was the only one who was like hesitant, and he was,
I think he stands out. Like he definitely in that
Yeah.
movie. Like, post watching it, I think more of The Rock's performance than I do Wahlberg. Wahlberg's playing a muscular guy.
yeah, he's
That's
just
it.
playing like douchey
Yeah.
bro
Yeah,
with violent
He's
tendencies.
being Wahlberg. He's being Wahlberg in Boston without the accent, essentially.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
That's pretty much what he is in this movie. And Mackey's good too. Shalhoub, for the little bit they have him in is good.
Yeah.
But then Ed Harris's character also comes in and just I think has a great performance in there too.
Yeah,
Does Wahlberg naturally have that accent, or is that just like how does he normally speak?
I think he's
I don't think I've ever seen
in
an
some of
interview
his
with him.
roles he tries to hide his Boston accent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
I don't watch enough like interviews with him to be like, no, I can hear the accent through the.
Hey,
bit.
I'm Mark Wahlberg. Hey,
Mark
You want a Wahlberg, huh? I get you a fucking Wahlberg. You
Yeah.
want a Wahlberg
Yeah.
over here?
hey, come on.
There you go.
Come on. I was in Transformers.
Transform.
There's
there
no
were
way he can
cars
say
all
his
over the
own
place,
name,
man.
man.
It's fucked up. Really
Optimus
fucked
Prime.
Up.
What are you
Prime
doing?
died. Prime died. It was really fucking hard for us. Okay.
God damn.
Mark Wahlberg, ladies and gentlemen.
I really think that they should put more people with Brooklyn accents in movies because I think that they're really fucking funny. Pretty much.
What the fuck are you talking about, Liam?
Well, no. I mean,
Wait. Wahlberg is Boston, not Brooklyn.
well, okay. Well, either one. Either one. They're so fucking close. They're so fast when they speak,
No,
right?
they're not. No,
Well,
they're not.
Okay,
Liam,
here.
have you watched a
give me
single
examples. Give me
Scorsese movie?
examples. What's that?
Have you watched a single Scorsese movie? That's all they fucking do is talk in Brooklyn accents.
Well, either way,
Well,
I
like
think
the-
both
the-
are funny as fuck.
I
to
mean,
listen
like there's
to.
the Departed, but that's
Yeah, The
all
Departed
Boston.
is all Boston accents. The town,
Brooklyn, Boston.
Boston accents.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good Boston movies.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about Pain and Gain. There's another accent. There's a Russian accent. He has like a Russian girlfriend who.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was. She was real too. She was like a real person too. But
Right.
I don't know that she was as involved in like the whole thing.
No, like how like they do like the post credit, mid credits
Yeah.
bits. Like they said for her, like her name was changed to protect her
Yeah.
identity, which fair.
Gotcha.
Coming out of that.
Wait,
wouldn't have-
so what was that about? They changed her name. They
yeah, they did like
for the sake of her identity was.
yeah, they changed a couple characters' names. Rebel Wilson's character and Tony Shalhoub's character.
Yeah.
Just to, I guess, protect their identity for, whatever reason. Maybe
Or
they
probably
they-
just to protect Michael Bay from getting sued.
yeah. They just didn't want
Yeah.
to be in the film or have any association with it. So, but I
Gotcha.
mean, like it's like you were saying before, people can connect the dots and figure out,
Yeah.
that was Tony. I'm only saying Tony because it's Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah.
And that was him. That's why he's missing the foot, I guess.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was a really well-known story, which I didn't really know about. I like in my research, it was like a really like well-known about story, which I was kind of surprised about.
Because like I was thinking too, like that it takes place in 1995, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't.
So like you weren't there.
Nope.
I was 5.
I was not there.
You weren't there either, so fuck, I'm old. So like for me, 5, that is like X-Men, Batman cartoons, and like Star Wars. That's
There
like
you go.
all I was like. I've been rewatching like American Crime Story because half that stuff happens in the 90s anyway too, and just
Right.
like
The OJ,
the OJ one, the
Monica Lewinsky. Was that American Crime Story?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
but
Wait, that was an
the
American
other one, the assassination of Giovanni
Oh yeah,
Versace.
Giovanni Versace. Yeah.
And like I'm like, I was there, but I don't remember any of this
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, it's one thing that just like you know.
I mean,
young.
it's kind of like one of those things for like me, right? Like 9/11, you know, like I was like what 2 or something.
Yeah.
It was there, but you don't remember.
Yeah. Well, I don't think this movie was like 9/11. Like, it was like 9/11, and then like this,
Probably like a notch.
Yeah.
Or 2, you know?
It was the Pentagon, not 9/11.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
There you go. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I don't know what else about this movie. Yeah, it is like, I know they like play it for jokes, but it is really brutal, like what they're doing. And if you look into like what they actually did, it's a lot worse than like what they just did in the movie.
Oh shit! What they actually do to the guy?
They were like actually like, I don't remember, but they were doing like fucked up shit to him. They like tied him up. Well, I guess they did that in the movie.
Yeah.
They blindfolded him, which they also did in the movie.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure they probably took it a little bit farther.
well, it's like
I mean, they tried to kill him. They blew up his car, and then they ran over him with a van, and then they left him for dead, and he somehow survived.
yeah,
Just a unit.
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, like, I think one it that's brutal.
Yeah.
That all that stuff and maybe more happened to the guy.
Yeah.
But then I also think it just goes to show like the incompetence of the guys who are doing the crime then too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we talked about like a twisted American dream. Like the way that those guys act, that's just pure narcissism.
Yeah.
That's narcissism at its
Definitely.
fullest level. Just like thinking that one, I deserve these things because that's who I am and that's
Just
what I'm
because-
entitled to.
Yeah.
And then 2, to think that I can get away with this.
Right.
And then 3, I don't know, come up with 3.
Yeah.
But
Fill in the blank.
yeah, fill in the blank. There's
All the
definitely a
above.
lot of narcissism to each of those guys in there, thinking that they can do this.
Yeah. I will say there wasn't a lot of Anthony Mackie, which is like he's the second guy, but The Rock he's sort of the second helm to Mark Wahlberg because of star power, I'm assuming. But yeah, I wish they would have had more of Anthony Mackie.
And like especially seeing like where Mackie is now,
Yeah.
Captain America. I mean, that's 2 out of the 3 guys who regularly play superheroes.
Yeah.
Was Wahlberg ever a superhero? I'm a superhero
I don't
guy, but
think
even I can't think of
so.
anything
Yeah,
he's
no.
been in.
Yeah, no.
No.
He was in Transformers. That
He played a person in Transformers.
He played
It's the most serious role he's ever had.
Optimus Prime's best friend.
Yeah, but so it's like 2 out of the 3 guys like have
Yeah.
gone on to like superhero careers, whatever legitimate a career you make that to be.
Yeah.
But like it's those pull money for the studios and that draws in people. So
Yeah. And I will say I don't hate Mark Wahlberg. I generally like a lot of his movies, but just this movie is just not.
it's not a strength for him.
Yeah.
Wasn't the move.
No. I think this definitely gave The Rock a big boost in his career, seeing like
definitely.
like his range as an actor. Because I think before this it was The Scorpion King and The Scorpion King.
And what else? Like probably like
He was
Game
probably
Plan,
I think like Fast 5 had come out around maybe a bit before here, so he would have, but he was still a minor character in that too. He wasn't like The Rock.
He was like really breaking into Hollywood at that point.
Yeah.
Like, because I was a wrestling guy at a younger age, at a time in my life, you know.
Did you know him for wrestling at all?
Yeah,
'Cause
like
think he was-
like I grew up watching The Rock as a wrestler, and like I would say this was probably his second attempt at coming into Hollywood, because Scorpion King and The Mummy weren't exactly the best for him.
Wait, where was he in The Mummy?
It's-
He was like the villain of like
Well, was he the main? No.
No. Wait, you've never seen the horrible CG mummy footage?
I've seen the Mummy movies, and they can get there. They can certainly get there with the effects.
Oh my gosh, you gotta watch it. It's like
It is hard to look at.
It's like arguably the worst CGI footage in a contemporary film.
Hey,
That's what they say.
a little kid me, I loved the Mummy movies, right?
Yeah.
And then slowly as I got older, right, like it just got worse and worse.
Tom Cruise ruined mummies.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a mummy thing since that Tom Cruise movie came out.
Yeah.
But even before then, like aside from the Mummy franchise, I always like the idea of mummies as like they're not zombies, but they're like they're old Egyptian pharaohs, and they're coming and they're
possessed
and they have a
and
curse.
Yeah.
Those were like the old like 40s like horror movies. Was like they were like mummies.
Yeah, even
they were pretty big back then.
Yeah.
even Abbott and Costello meet the mummy. That's a solid film.
Oh yeah.
But now it's like the mummies have to have powers like telekinetic powers, and they have to eat the entire world. And
You know what, Joseph? It's this TikTok generation.
These fucking kids and their fucking TikToks. They just want mummies to do little dances.
Michael Bay. They just want Michael
They
Bay.
fucking
They want the
Michael-
mummy
sorry, that's
shanty.
different.
They want the mummy shanties. That's what they want. I don't know how mummies got in the seas, but they got in the seas. So.
We need pirate mummies.
You know what, Liam? Just like how we revitalized Frankenstein's with our hit film Interview with the Frankenstein, we got to do the same.
It's coming. There we go. We'll just get a bunch of toilet
Late night
paper.
with mummies. That's what it'll be.
That'll be
Late night with mummies.
Late night with mummies.
Oh yeah.
Highly requested sequel to Interview with the Frankenstein. Anyways, back to this Michael Bay movie. What do you think of Michael Bay as like just in general?
You know, like I was thinking about that before because the only like he's known for the CGI and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think just off the top of my head, the only movies I'd really seen of his were Armageddon and the Transformers movies.
So you've seen his bad movies?
Yeah, well, I mean, list another one.
No, The Rock. Have you seen The Rock?
Oh,
Not
okay,
the
Rock.
actor.
No, The Rock. Then yeah, like okay, so maybe like I've probably seen them, but didn't realize
Bad
they were Michael.
Boys.
Bad Boys. Yep, seen Bad Boys.
Bad
but,
Boys 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Ambulance.
No, did not see Ambulance.
You don't
no.
have to see Ambulance. It's
Yeah.
not required.
No, but then like yeah, it's just I guess I've seen his movie, just never associated them with Michael Bay. Like they had more star power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I know that The Rock was also the first time I really kind of put him into my head was what was the movie? It was Journey to the Center of the Earth, I think. Did you guys ever watch it? It was a kids movie.
This was around the same time as that too. Yeah.
You got it.
You know what's funny? That's a sequel to a Brendan Fraser film.
Yeah.
And The Mummy Returns is a sequel to a Brendan Fraser film.
Rock, he was really trying to catapult off Brendan Fraser.
So that must mean by extrapolating that formula, The Rock will play a fat guy and win an Oscar next.
Yeah, The Rock will play the whale.
It's going to
too.
happen.
Yeah.
They're calling it right now.
The dolphin.
Perfect.
He played a fat character in Central Intelligence. They had like a flashback
Oh,
of when The
that's
Rock was in
right,
high school.
yeah.
That's ringing a bell.
And they had like a fat kid play
I never
him.
saw that, but I remember like in the trailer, like
Yeah. He was like dancing and he was fat, and it's funny because I guess it's funny to see fat people dance.
I feel like that humor's come out of fashion, more and more throughout the years. It was definitely like an early 2000s thing. I feel like fat people being funny on TV and movies.
It's more like funny because they are fat.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not like it's a fat guy making a joke. It's a joke because he's fat.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh.
Fucking Kevin James, man. He put that. No, I don't want to blame Kevin James.
Man, Paul Blart, Mall Cop. Good lord, I don't know when that came out, but I feel like that was early 2000s somewhere.
That was around then too.
Yeah. Was that?
And it was funny because he was a fat guy.
That was very funny.
Yeah.
I laughed so many times. But anyways, it is a weird thing that Michael Bay would make a movie like, because it is a serious movie. It still has like the Michael Bayisms, but it's like a serious tone of movie. It's a true story. It's not like just explosions, like you said.
Yeah.
It is weird that he was trying to go this route.
I mean, plot wise, it's a great film, I think.
Yeah, it is a good plot.
Yeah, it's a good plot. And what I'll say just to talk about like Bay's skills as a director is like the camera shots too are phenomenal. Like when they're doing shots as the guys are driving up the Miami Strip and everything. They're getting the angles on the car through the dash and everything. Like they're great shots. They're phenomenal shots. And I definitely remember a lot of those after watching the film.
It definitely is fun to make fun of Michael Bay, but also when you think of the logistics of his movies and what goes into it and the explosions in the cars,
there's a lot.
There's a lot that goes into it, and so I do give him credit for how much he's able to pull off.
Yep.
Exactly.
I mean, there's no way that I could do any of that, but
you gotta believe in yourself. If Michael Bay can do it, Liam, anybody
I can do
it. That guy's so fucking.
That's like for me. It's like if Robert Rodriguez can do it, then I can do it. Hey, I'm saying this now on camera. I love fucking Robert Rodriguez. He's my man.
Number one.
Yeah, no, he was.
Dude, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he made.
He's the OG indie darling, man. Like he made Mariachi, and then
he made it for like $1,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
really?
super cheap. Mariachi was $1,000, and then that's what got him Desperado, which is like the spiritual successor, and then you've got just everything else from there that he's done. It's great. He's the OG indie darling.
Liam, it cost him the same amount to make an entire movie that it cost us to make an 11-minute shitty film in our storage.
Exactly. God damn. He just made an entire film for 1 month's rent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Impressive.
Good
pretty
for him.
much.
Oh, yeah.
Proud of him.
Oh yeah.
But so I remember this movie came out, and when I first saw it, I remember thinking like Michael Bay must have he must have seen The Wolf of Wall Street, and he was like, "Oh, I'll do that."
Was this before
This was before Wolf of Wall Street.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. When did Wolf of Wall Street come out?
It came out the same year, but it came out in the latter end of the year.
Okay.
Which and so it was like weird that both these movies came out around the same time, but they seem so much like they pulled from each other.
I don't know. Conspiracy theory, maybe. Maybe they were talking.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Michael Bay was listening on those Scorsese conversations, and he was like,
"Well, I mean, like it is a huge departure from what he's generally known for."
Yeah, definitely.
And like, I don't know, just even I would say like a bit of some of the dialogue is hokey, but I think that's just more it's the characters that are saying it than it is the actual dialogue itself.
Think so.
Yeah.
A lot of like the jokes don't land, which they mostly don't in Michael Bay movies, and it's weird. I took note of this when the movie. Hang on, let me get this one. They start the plan 15 minutes. It's a 2-hour movie. They start the plan 15 minutes into the movie, and I was like, I didn't realize how quickly they just got into it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, there's the 10-minute rule for movies. Like, if the plot should be established, but by 10 minutes in. So 15 minutes makes sense because you have the 5-minute.
There's
skip
like a
ahead,
flash forward scene.
Flash forward to what's going to happen to the character. So then that makes sense. But like, I don't know. I mean, like, if it established it pretty good in the beginning. I'll say that. We're just like, oh, this is how it's gonna go. And
I don't know because I don't think I would have liked to have seen more of Mark Wahlberg's motivation because it seemed like he was mad that he went to prison and he was mad that this guy has so much money and he had like a good job and he was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna.
But I
didn't see the motivation.
But I think that goes into like the narcissism of the character and the person the character is based on too, where it's just like, I believe I should have good things. And therefore they will happen to me. I mean, in the movie he goes to like one of those it was big in the 90s where the late night infomercial of a guy on a yacht.
Ken Jeong.
Yeah, Ken Jeong in the film.
Yeah,
a guy on a yacht surrounded by beautiful women. Saying like, oh, I paid all this in cash, and all these women are like, they're my harem. They all sleep with me. I have like 8 wives and all this stuff.
It's like you can do it too.
Yeah, exactly. It's like horrible Tony Robbins.
Yeah, pretty much.
and like he buys into it. He buys into it and buys into the mentality. Like that's a lot of like the fucked up mentality we have today on like some podcasts, but not this podcast. Not this podcast. This is a good podcast. But some of those podcasts out there that tell guys like, hey, because you're a man, you're entitled to certain things and you deserve certain things. And if they aren't happening to you, then there's something that you're fucked up and then you need to change that.
Yeah.
Or the world needs to change for you, I should say.
We got to make a Pain and Gain sequel with the Tates in it. I think that'd be, yeah.
There you go. Oh, yeah. Wait, so yeah, who do you think is who out of the Tate brothers, right?
I think Andrew is definitely the Danny, and then Tristan is the Rock's character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, we'll see how long Andrew lasts in prison then. And then
I think
maybe
he's out of prison.
No.
Is he out?
He's out of prison, yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
I haven't been following all that much. I don't know what all that jazz is about. But
No, that guy was not on my radar until he got caught, and then I was like, oh, he deserved it.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But oh man, we'll talk to him about it. How about
Well,
that?
yeah.
We'll
when
see
he's
if
on
they
the
get on
Andrew, when you're on the pod, we'll ask you all about Pain and Gain.
Fuck you, Andrew.
Oh boy.
Well, it'll be a gem. We'll see.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, David. Any final thoughts on the movie?
What'd you think?
Is it a recommend?
I do recommend the movie. One, if anything, to get a different idea of the range of Michael Bay and The Rock.
Yep.
If you like Wahlberg, you'll like Wahlberg. But then, yeah, it's definitely a movie I would recommend.
Liam, is this movie a recommend?
You know what? Go for it. Give it a watch. I need to watch it again myself. I got to give myself a little recap. But
I say don't watch this fucking movie. Don't support Michael Bay. Fucking
damn.
No, you can
Damn.
see it if you want to. That's my attitude on movies.
Close your eyes at the Wahlberg parts.
Yeah. If you want to watch a movie, then watch a movie.
Don't fucking watch it with this guy. That's what I say. He's a fucking asshole.
That's what they say. That's what every time I'm in the theater, they're just like, he's fucking here again.
This guy's making fucking
back.
commentary again. Fuck this guy.
Like, this guy cares way too much about movies. This guy's reading into Michael Bay movies. What the fuck is he got?
You know.
Somebody's gotta.
For the audience, right? Joseph, you are that person who will occasionally throw out some auditory remark in the middle of a movie. No. It's not too often. Usually, it's towards the beginning and the end, right? Like usually they're at kind of more socially acceptable points. But you get into it.
I will say, like the one person I watch movies all the time with is my brother.
Oh yeah.
And so like we're in the theater together, and we'll always just kind of go back and forth, just like. Just whatever joke it is, and just pound it out right in the middle of the theater.
There you go. Oh, I know that those jokes are popping out on the internet a whole bunch, where they just speak their minds clearly, whatever movie trailer shows up on screen or whatnot.
I will say, this is my final tangent, and then we can end the podcast. I saw Into the Spider-Verse this weekend.
Yeah, how was it?
And it was. We'll get into it at a different episode, but it was really good. But I just saw the theater was full of kids, and I was heathing. I was like, I better not have to fucking strangle some kids in the middle of this fucking movie. Thankfully, I didn't have to, but I was really worried that it was just going to be a bunch of kids fucking around
screaming.
Spider-Man!
No, not even like little kids. Like it's like all these teenagers.
Okay,
I get so annoyed by teenagers.
The teeny boppers.
Is it are they there because they like it, or is it like they're at the I like things ironically teenager point?
Exactly.
It's probably that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I watched the movie. David, do you have anything you want to tell the audience? The 15 people who are going to watch this.
The 15 people that are going to watch this. Go see Pain and Gain.
Go see Pain and Gain.
Worth it.
You don't want to tell them your social media?
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
You can follow me on just about everything at the Mexican 734. That's Facebook, Twitter, Insta, Letterboxd, because we're on a film podcast. So there we go.
Yeah.
Letterboxd.
Mexican 734.
Yep.
All right.
We'll see you next time. Big peace.
Big peace.